thali. If you're able to improve your thali, our thali have lot of ingredients. So many people may not able to do the right exercise at right time, but at least they can manage their thali in an effective way, so they can reduce lot of health issues. Okay, and you will be surprising, in today's world many people are dying is dying by the food addiction itself. So right food is most important. All is happening in the gut. So today we have one of my friend, and one of my mentor in nutrition aspect and fitness, Madhuri ma'am. So please let us know, give our, okay, please let margdarshan kijiye hamara. And this session will be in
Namaste,
English.
everybody.
Namaskaram, Madhuri ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Hanji. So thank you so much. Satya sir is always giving me these really exciting introductions. But yes, I am 60 and always I want to grow younger as I grow older. And the only way to do that is to eat healthy and to do a lot of workout and, flex those biceps. Yeah, so that is the way that the mantra that I have led for 25 years and maintained my weight and try to get, challenge myself to be healthier and healthier every single day. But today, I'm going to talk to you um, about your beautiful, healthy, pulsating gut, the place where all of the food that we eat from our Indian thali, it gets converted into the energy that we need, whether it is physical energy, mental energy, emotional energy, creative energy. Basically, all the food that we eat on your thali is all processed in this digestive tract of ours, which begins with our mouth and is really such a long, 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 long passage. In fact, it has 2 to 3 tennis courts in surface area. It is that big. It has 2 to 3 tennis courts of surface area. It is that big. And we are going to have a really exciting discussion today about that. So if I have your permission, then I will go ahead and share my presentation. Is that okay? Should I share the presentation? Give me a
Okay,
moment.
okay, madam. Go ahead.
Yeah. So this is our presentation about having the guts to improve your gut. Having the guts to improve your gut. So it's really about getting the gut so good that whatever you eat, whatever it is that you eat on your plate gets digested 100%, not only digested 100%, but it gets absorbed into each and every one of our 300 trillion cells. We have 300 trillion cells in our body, and the food that we eat on our thali, whether from the chapati to the rice to the dal to the raita, whatever it is that we eat, to the fruit, to the curry, to khichdi, whatever you eat is eventually something that feeds 300 trillion cells in an efficient body, in a body that chews the food well, in a body that loves the texture and the smell of the food, in a body, in a mind that is waiting to eat healthy food, and in a body that can't wait to exercise all of this food. When you do that, you become gut good. When you do that, you become gut good. So let's get started and let's look at what it is that we are going to look at in today's discussion. Okay, so this is what I'm going to cover today. First of all, I'm going to cover this beautiful anatomy of the gastrointestinal tract or the GI tract. I'm going to cover that entire anatomy. You're going to look at certain very, very exciting concepts, not just of, this has so much nutrition, this is good for you, this is bad for you, but what is the fate of that food inside your body? How good and how healthy is your gut to digest all the foods that you love? How good is your gut to digest the foods that you eat, even though you know you're not supposed to eat? What is the effect of eating the foods that you're not supposed to eat, which you still eat, on your good food? What about the absorption? Is just eating enough? Is just eating your food enough? Is just smelling your food enough? Is just digesting your food enough? Or should it also be absorbed, because there is a rich array of nutrients on your plate? And should it give you that kind of energy that makes you feel that, yes, I need to grow younger as I grow older? Because when you do that, when you are 40, when your biological age is 40, when you're 60, then life has a lot more meaning. Life has tremendous amounts of meaning if something like that happens to you. And that all that starts with the gut, because our gut is connected to our brain function. The brain and the gut are really a team. And inside this gut, there is another world of healthy bacteria, the healthy bacteria that help us to be as healthy as we choose to be. It's only, you just have to ask, I want to be healthy like this. And it's a bacteria that can help you to do that. Okay, so that's what we're going to cover. A third very, very interesting point that is going to help you to appreciate and love the way the digestive system works is by really understanding what are these major obstacles that the digestive system overcomes to give us the nutrition from our plate, from our thali. How does the nutrition in our thali get converted to this wonderful chemical energy, to electrical energy with the heart beating, the muscles pumping? All that is electrical energy, mechanical energy of movement, and the chemical energy of our metabolism. How does this digestive system overcome so many obstacles, so many hurdles, so many problems, and gives us such a smooth experience every single day of our life? Every single day of our life, it does that. Okay. We are also going to look at the role of digestion in health and immunity. And we're going to look at, gut health. Is it really something that matters, or is it just a fad? I mean, this is what I'm going to generally discuss. I plan to cover most of this today, but we probably need a day two, because of course digestive system, like I said, is 2 tennis courts in surface area. It is 2 tennis courts in surface area. It does a lot of work. So let's just dive into this. Okay, so what is really the purpose of digestion? If we were to ask ourselves, what is the purpose of digestion? I just covered a few points. I said that the food that you eat has to be eaten from, there are certain foods our body needs from the diet alone. It cannot make, the body cannot make many vitamins, minerals. It cannot make the energy that comes to us from our thali. And that energy that comes to us from our thali comes from the energy of the sun that gets into the plants, that gets onto our plate, and then gets into our body. So that whole connection is really important. And the purpose of digestion is to really absorb that energy of the universe, the energy of the sun that comes to us within our multiple wonderful food choices, and gets converted into what we call life, lifestyle, ambition, creativity, whatever it is that you want. You have to see the role of digestion as a part of your daily and everyday life. You have to see the role of digestion like that. And that's when you begin to appreciate it. Okay, so here is what I have for you. What is the purpose of digestion? So the digestion is the body's very specific structure. It's an ingenious, It's a miraculous way of breaking down this food that we enjoy, the food that you've just had for dinner. I had palak paneer for dinner today with nachni roti and lot of salad. All that food is getting broken down in my body so that I have a continuous source of energy. It breaks down those nutrients that have to come from the diet and get my body ready to absorb those nutrients in the bloodstream to go to the cells as they need them. My brain requires a lot of energy. The brain is a very small organ, but it takes about maximum energy from all of the food and the calories that you're eating. Maximum energy is used by the brain. So if you don't have a very good digestive system, if you're always fasting, then that energy doesn't go to the brain. And see, the brain is not only for learning. The brain regulates our body. The brain has a language, has a bi-directional communication with our body. So our body and the brain talk to each other to help us to live the life that we want to live, to help us to live the life that we want to live. So the digestive system really becomes that resource that supplies our brain with the kind of energy that the brain wants to keep us alive, to keep us healthy, to keep us well, to keep us doing every single thing that we really, really, really want to do. Right? So that is the process of digestion. In a nutshell, digestion is just the breaking down of food. So when you eat a chapati, for instance, when you're having, like when I had just now, I had nachni roti, you all might have had khichdi, curry, whatever, or you're still going to eat dinner after this presentation, something, whatever it is that you have eaten, it is broken down to its smallest unit. It is broken down to its smallest unit. So chapati, sabzi, mithai, all those things, the smallest unit of that is glucose. Glucose, okay? And glucose is the energy, is the currency for the brain to work. The brain and body's organs and the nervous system that travels between the body and the brain and the brain and the body is really working on glucose energy, right? So how does that chapati end up as glucose in our blood? It takes 4 hours in the digestive system. First, it has to be broken down with the way we chew our food. And second, it has to be absorbed into the bloodstream as glucose. And when this food is being broken down, it releases energy. And the slower that the food releases energy, the more energetic we feel and the less sick we feel. If we eat food that breaks down into energy very quickly, we call these packaged food, processed food, lot of sugar in your food, all of those foods, if it breaks down very quickly, then quick energy breakdown results in, is not absorbed as energy, but is stored as fat. When you have natural food from our Indian thali, especially everything, all the portions set out, then what happens is all that food that is broken down is absorbed as energy by the body and not as fat. Okay, so that is a very, very important point for you to remember, is the rate at which foods are broken down. That is extremely important, and you have to help. We have to help our digestive system to break down the foods at the rate at which our body wants to receive that food. We'll talk about all that much more going forward. Okay, so what we've understood, the purpose of digestion is really to break down the food, prepare the body to absorb the food, and to give us unending amounts of continuous amounts of sustained energy throughout the day and the night, even when we're asleep. We need energy when we're asleep for our repair and restoration. So That is the most important thing that one has to think about. Okay. What is the purpose of absorption? What is the purpose of absorption? Absorption is once the food is digested, it passes all the nutrients from the digestive tract, which is there, our stomach, our intestines, etc., into the blood circulation. And from the blood, it is carried to all the tissues of our body, especially the brain and all of the organ system, the pancreas, this, that, everything is working 24/7, minute to minute, all the time as I'm speaking, as we are speaking. Thousands of chemical reactions are taking place in our body just because we've been able to digest the food. Okay, so this is, the reason for digestion is to make the food available for our life, our lifestyle, our survival, and our enjoyment. Everything happens with the food on our plate and how we begin to use it so that we have continuous, sustained, beautiful energy. Okay. So let's take a quick look at what is this digestive tract. Okay, what is a digestive tract? Yeah, we can see that the digestive tract is it's a flexible muscular tube. You can see that it's it's a long tube like this. Food enters from the mouth, which we chew completely and break it down, mechanical breakdown of food, and then in the stomach it gets digested, completely digested, and some foods like protein foods get digested, the food gets churned. The stomach is like a mixer grinder. It completely grinds and makes the food into like a paste. Some proteins get digested in the stomach, but most of the absorption happens in this small intestine, especially of the starches, the chapati, the rice, all that you eat, the starches, the dal, the khichdi, all the nutrients from that is absorbed here. And also the ghee and the fat and everything that you eat is absorbed in the small intestine. So basically the digestive system begins at the mouth where the food enters, and it ends at the anus where you release all the extra food, the waste material is all released. It's really a system where our human body is surrounding our digestive tract. It's a system where our human body, entire body, is surrounding this digestive tract, which is at the center. It's at the center of our body's universe. It is at the center of our body's universe. Okay. So why does this gut health really matter so much? We've been talking about it. We said that digestion converts whatever food energy we have into usable chemical energy. Now think of a moment, think of a time if this does not happen. If the food that you eat cannot be converted into energy, then what? That food doesn't make any sense, right? If it cannot be converted into energy, the first thing that will happen is you will not have energy, but your fat stores will start getting filled up. Okay, but even for the fat stores to be filled up, your food has to be broken down and converted into chemical energy. So this is one of the most important processes that the digestive system enables us by converting our food energy into all multiple different types of energy. Now see, the gut, it builds immunity. It builds immunity because the gut builds immunity because the lining of the gut is lined with cells that really help to improve our immune function, prevent inflammation, help with mental functions, anxiety control. All of those things are really happening inside of us. Okay, inside this wonderful gut of ours. Okay, now the one thing that we have to remember the one thing that we have to remember when we talk about gut and mental health, that's really, really important, because if the digestive system is not calm, if the digestive system is not rested, it cannot digest the food. If your mind is super active, it's overactive, it is always thinking about worry and what to do next and what deadline to meet, and what kind of work has to be accomplished, and where will I go next, and why is everybody bothering me and troubling me. And if you're going to eat your food in a rush, not in a mindful way, then the body cannot digest the food. The food cannot get converted into chemical energy very efficiently. And that is when, one starts having a lot of fat accumulation around the organs. And when there is fat that accumulates around the organs, what really happens is that the organs get crushed, and they are not able to function 100%. And a lot of people, a lot of times we feel, I meet clients who say that, I don't feel 100%. I do everything. I go for a walk, I eat my food, I'm eating everything, all the diet that you're giving me, I'm eating everything, but I still don't feel 100%. Then we say, let's take a look at how you're eating your food. Are you chewing your food? Are you gulping your food down very quickly? Are you always in a rush, thinking of what to do next and just somehow eating your food, especially the lunch? Are you skipping your breakfast because you're getting late to catch the train or the bus or the car or whatever it is to reach your office? Are you get not eating your food because you have to be your supply, you're giving food to your children and your family, and you don't have time for yourself? Are you skipping meals? Because let's understand that if you skip your meals, there are no nutrients that are available for digestion and absorption and brain function. And even the digestive system itself needs those nutrients to stay alive. Right? So, very, very important to understand this connection between the two body systems. So I want to take a moment of your time and explain these two systems to you. So we as human beings have got two very clear systems that help us to protect ourselves. Now, one system is the fight and flight system, fight or flight. Okay. It's also called the fight, flight, or freeze system. So, in ancient times, in the hunter-gatherer times, what would happen is that normally, if a tiger or a large animal or something came our way, we would have that energy as hunter-gatherers to run away from that we would get so much energy in our body to save ourselves that we would be able to run away from that trying situation. But nowadays, we don't have this tiger that we have to run away from. We have a different type of tiger in our body, in our life. It's all the worry, the tension, the financial stress, this stress, family stress, whatever it is, COVID. Those are the mini tigers or whatever that are keeping us in fight and flight mode all the time. We're never getting out of that system. So, the hunter-gatherer, if he was fighting a tiger, once a tiger, the danger is gone, he calms down. There is no adrenaline remaining in the body. But for us now, we always have this continuous stress. And now we are always looking at the mobile phone every minute, what's happened, what is the news, who's calling me, who's not calling me. All these things are happening all the time. So the mind is never calm. The mind is never calm. Okay. So the fight and flight system is for us to run away from dangers. But the opposite of that is the rest and digest system. It is only when the mind is rested can digestion occur. When the mind is not rested, the digestive system does not work effectively. The digestive system does not work effectively. It doesn't release the enzymes that are required for digestion. You can experience hyperacidity. You can experience a lot of regurgitation of the food, sour, bitter taste in your mouth. because the fight and flight system hasn't calmed down at all. The fight and flight system has just not calmed down. So it's very, 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 very important for us to believe and think that you have to have the rest and digest system. You have to be rested to enjoy, to digest your food. So that's why I recommend that before you have any meal of any kind, take a few deep breaths. When you slow down your breathing, automatically the system changes from fight and flight to rest and digest. A very nice way of doing it is balloon breathing. If you get a balloon and you blow a balloon, you blow 5 breaths and you switch off your mind from worries and tensions and fight and flight, then your body calms down, and then you get a wonderful plate of your wonderful thali in front of you. Then you look at it, enjoy it with your eyes. It just takes one minute of these small mindful things, and then you start to chew the food really nicely, appreciate how it is cooked, and then the digestive process starts. So let me tell you that even if your food is the best, even if you have, the most nutritious thali in front of you, you have all the colors on your plate, you have all the vegetables, you have all the superfoods, dalchini, elaichi, long, everything, haldi, all that is there properly distributed on your plate. But if you're breathing fast and eating fast and looking at your phone, and if you're in a state of worry and tension, you will not digest that wonderful food. It will become, a troublesome unit in your body and cause gas, flatulence, constipation, all kinds of things. So the very, very important to remember that when we have to digest our food, we have to be in rest and digest mode. And that is when these calming hormones of serotonin are released. And they also help us to improve the quality of our sleep, because the digestive system is very much linked to our healing system as well. The digestive system is also linked with our healing system. So gut health really matters in all areas of your health, whether it is for energy, to build immunity, mental health, reducing anxiety and depression, releasing calming hormones so that you can think with clarity, getting rid of brain fog, and of course, eventually it helps, for you to get the skin glow, because when the digestive system works efficiently, the toxin clearance, the things that the body doesn't need, the things that are not good for the body and the digestion, that clearance improves. Okay, so that is the clearance that improves. Now I'm going to take a quick 3-minute break. If you all have any questions, please feel free to ask before I proceed.
So if you have a question, please unmute yourself. You have to unmute, right? And we will proceed. We all have to unmute, right? Please. If you have any question, first raise your hand, then you should ask this. Any question? I think our English is still clear. Please continue.
Yeah, give me a moment.
Another health series we are starting from Sunday onward, that will be energy healing especially by the Manjari channel and by the Jennings sir, it is starting from Sunday onwards. And a series of webinar. It is just not a webinar, it's a series of webinar on the health pattern, and then we will move on to the next one. Yes, please, ma'am.
Okay. So now I just want you to take you through a little more of a detailed understanding of this digestive system. Okay, so you have, the mouth, and then this is the esophagus, that is the tube. And you have to really first chew your food very well, because your chapati, all your fruit, your dal, rice, all the digestion of that starts in the mouth itself. So your mouth has to be full of saliva. You have to, when you chew your food, you release saliva. If you're going to keep gulping your food, there is no salivary release. So mechanically, you have to chew your food at least 30 to 40 times. Then that saliva is coated. When the food is coated with saliva, now this is a very important obstacle, because if the food is not coated with saliva, the digestive enzymes in the small intestine cannot break down the food. It cannot break down food that is not in small bits or coated with saliva. It has to be moistened. You have to moisten your food for the further digestion to take place. So a lot of people feel that, I'm feeling bloated, I'm feeling so heavy. Half the time is because they're not chewing their food properly. Okay, so when in your mouth you chew your food properly, yes, yes, sir, hello.
Very important question. I think it will relate to all. Let's suppose people are having the diet and they are eating multiple, let's say, multiple things. Let's suppose. So if you make food as simple as easy, it will be useful, or taking multiple things at a one time. Let's suppose I am eating something, let's say roti, chawal, rajma, and some three, four things more also. So which is the best thing, to make it very simple or make it complex?
See, that is a very, very good question, but it is very dependent on the person. So if how habitually are you used to eating? So for example, some people cannot have roti and rice together. Some people can have both the things together in smaller quantities. It is all very, very individual. But I have a feeling that the simpler it is, the better it is for us to chew and digest our food properly. Because then you see what happens if you're going to eat too many things, you're not going to get 100% nutrition also. If you're going to have little bit of this, little bit of that, little bit of sabzi, little bit of dal, little bit of khichdi, little bit of something else, like you have in a buffet, little of everything, you don't get the dosage of nutrients that you need in your body. If you're going to just have basic 5 food groups, all food groups should be represented on your plate as much as is possible. All the food groups should be there. I mean, that is up for another topic. What are food groups, how they should be represented? Because what is available in one food helps the digestion and absorption of another food. So if you're going to have, let's say, that is why, our khichdi and curry is a wonderful combination, because the proportion of rice to dal in the khichdi helps the absorption of all the nutrients in the dal and the rice 100%. It becomes a complementary food rather than just eating, plain rice. Having a khichdi is definitely much better. And when you have the curry with this khichdi, then you're getting healthy bacteria also. Right? And along with this, if you're going to have like a raita, like a gajar ka raita, beetroot ka raita, you're getting a lot of energy in. So you need to represent all of the food groups in small amounts, but in a very simple ghar ka khana kind of manner. When food is cooked in a very rich manner, a lot of oil in the food, very deep fried, lots of thick gravies and all of that, then the body is fighting to digest. And yeah, that's a very good question. I'll tell you what happens when you're having very heavy food. Now you see, if you look at this digestive tract, the food, we chew our food, it will go down in this esophagus. This is the food pipe. It goes down there and it has to enter the stomach. Now the stomach is a mixer grinder that is full of acid. It has got such high levels of acidity that even if we put our finger inside that, it will get burnt. But the stomach can keep that acid. It has got the power to keep that acid inside. But if you're going to eat heavy food, see now, if you can imagine between the stomach and this esophagus right here, there is like a little cap. So once the food from the esophagus enters the stomach, that cap shuts tight. The cap shuts tight. Why? Because the acid from the stomach should not come back. Acid from the stomach, if it comes into the esophagus will get burnt and there will be holes in it, right? So it shuts tight. Now, when you're eating ghar ka khana, the food that is cooked on a daily basis, light food, not super rich, not very rich food, that cap shuts tight very nicely. The cap shuts tight perfectly. When you eat heavy food, this cap, the activity of this cap gets slowed down and it does not shut. It does not shut. So you must have found that, when you go out and eat on a Saturday night, or you go to somebody's for a wedding and eat heavy food, you feel ki, all the food is coming up in the morning, tak you feel it is not digested. Correct? And you feel that because this heavy food that you ate at night did not allow that cap to shut, and all the contents of the stomach kept coming backwards and caused this whole acidity for you. Hanji, yes, sir.
Another very important question. I have heard that at night we don't take heavy dinner. And
No.
the lecture I was listening from one of the experts, they saying if you sleep 2 days for empty stomach, it will heal your body in a very effective way. We don't have to take dinner also. So can you throw some light? What will be the duration of what is the minimum timing we should have your dinner? Okay.
Yeah.
What
So
should
ideal is before sunset. If you eat, that is the best thing, because our brain cortisol system, the alert hormone system, the calming down system, all of that is tuned with the sun. When the sun rises, we are alert. When the sun sets, we get calmed down. And so does the power of the digestive system also wants to slow down. So that is the ideal time. But people say that it takes 3 hours to digest a heavy meal. It takes 3 hours to digest a basic meal. So you need 3 hours before your bedtime, ideally, to have eaten your full meal. 3 hours before, at least 3 to 4. It's very individual. It all depends on some people. Some people have, they need to eat small meals more frequently to balance their sugar. So that's a very different ball game altogether. For diabetics, they need to have a bedtime snack to balance their sugar at night. So we can't make like a complete rule about this, but then diabetics have to choose those kinds of foods that are easy to digest, just before going to sleep, because otherwise then they have low blood sugar when they wake up in the morning, and that's a very dangerous situation. So, we can't, that is what we need to look at.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the way then, then from the stomach also, when the food is churned, it has to go slowly, drop by drop into the small intestine. Again, there is a cap over there. It doesn't all go like in one shot. If it goes in one shot, the small intestines will get overwhelmed. They will not know what to do with all this food, because first of all, the stomach food is, in the stomach, the food is coated in acid and water and all of that. And again, it has to be beautifully moisturized, perfectly moved, and only then will the small intestines enzymes be able to work on that food to digest and absorb it. Only then will that happen. Okay. So this is again, the digestive. These are some of the challenges that the digestive system faces. That how does the acid from the stomach not go back? So then you have to use your technique of eating your food well, chewing it well, and allowing it to go down in a smooth manner, not having heavy food, so that the contents of the stomach can stay exactly intact. Because in the stomach is a very, very, very important organ. And the reason for that is the stomach has has a very acidic medium. Now, if you were to think, why do you need this acid in your body? What is the reason? Do you really need it? Of course you need it for 2-3 things. First, if there are any bacteria, pathogens, any infectious material in the food that you're eating, the stomach acid neutralizes that. It completely neutralizes that bacteria or that infection. So the infection doesn't reach the rest of your body, correct? Now, the next thing that the stomach acid does is that it digests all your dals and your proteins all get digested by the stomach acid. Okay. So that is another reason why the stomach has to have acid, but that those acidic contents cannot go upwards or go downwards, because if that happens, then the entire digestive system, has a problem. So this is what we understand about the gastrointestinal tract. Okay. So now let's move on. How, what is the way that the digestive system moves? It's like it moves like a simple, pipe that it gets, one portion gets filled up and then it goes down and then it goes down further. So this is how the whole thing starts moving. It's called peristalsis. Okay. Like a ball just keeps moving through a tight tube. You just push one portion, the other one expands, you push another portion, and it's all very, very, very strong muscles. Okay. Now, I told you right in the beginning that the digestive system has a surface area of the small intestine at least has a surface area of 1.5 tennis courts. 1.5 tennis courts of surface area to digest all of our food. But the point is that all of this has to happen in a very gradual and in a rested and digested manner. You have to rest and digest, rest your body, rest your mind and your body, and then only are you able to digest your food. The peristalsis that has to happen only works when the mind is calm. Otherwise, it's all very rushed. And when it's very rushed, you get a lot of accumulation of gas and all that kind of thing. And that is not very a very pleasant state. And it doesn't help with immunity, doesn't then help with mental health, it doesn't help with all those areas that we have spoken about earlier. Okay. Huh. So this is a quite an interesting 1 minute. This is a very interesting, what all happens in, excuse me. Yeah, it's a very interesting topic about, my dog is barking very loudly. Huh? So see, all of this, what happens in each area, that is what, this whole diagram is explaining. So basically in the mouth, like I said, your chapati and your rice and your dal is digested. In the stomach, the dal is, especially the protein, the dal and the dahi and the milk and the paneer is digested. In the small intestine, what is absorbed is your, your ghee and your badam, and those kinds of food get absorbed. And at the end of all this, the food is broken down, digested, and whatever is not required is released from the digestive tract. It's very important to remember the role of fiber that comes from vegetables. See, when you have a diet that is rich in fiber and color and vegetables, then the fiber that is there in our, let's say in our gajar and in our beans and all of that, the fiber that is there, that it cannot be digested by the digestive system. The fiber from our food cannot be digested by the digestive system. So why is it there then? Why is this fiber there if we cannot digest it? The fiber is there because the fiber helps. It is like an exercise for the digestive tract. The digestive system's muscular tube, it starts moving, and with the help of the fiber, it moves, and as a result of that, all the nutrients that are attached to the vegetables start getting released. If you have food which has no fiber, then the movement of that food will not happen easily. The movement of the food will not happen easily, and as a result of that, the nutrients that you need, the vitamin B, the vitamin A, D, E, K, the protein, the carbohydrate, the fat, all those healthy omega fats, MUFA fat, PUFA, JOBI, whatever, all the things that you need, They will not be released and they will not be available to the 300 trillion cells in your body. So everyone needs to consume enough fiber in your diet. I think for women, it is about 28 grams per day, every single day at every single meal. And for men, it is a little more, maybe about 35 grams. You really need to do that because that fiber helps the digestive system to move and for the nutrients to be released. You can have, in principle, you can have a 300 calorie, 600 calorie meal of puri and bhaji, puri and aloo ki sabzi, okay? Which has very little fiber. Or you can have nachni ki roti, gajar ki sabzi, and palak paneer or something like that. The meal, which is the meal according to you, where the nutrients will be released and which the digestive system will be happy with.
So, ma'am, can we crush? Let's suppose क्या कहते हैं चुकंदर क्या कहते हैं इंग्लिश में? Okay, I forgotten that क्या कहते हैं? Yes, beetroot. Can we crush beetroot in roti, etc., and some palak, etc.? So,
Yeah.
sometime in cutting the particular is thought take a lot of time also. So can we mix some suppose
You can add it to your rotis and everything. What I do now, because I like to have 5 colors on my plate. So let's say yesterday I had every day I have nachni ki roti. I have like a dosa kind of thing. Nachni ki roti. Uske saath ye shimla mirch ki sabzi. That is green color. Now I want some red color, so I just grate some beetroot. Orange color के लिए I will grate some carrot. वो सिर्फ थोड़ा सा कीस के I put it on my food and it's very nice. Or I make it into a raita. If I put it in my chapati, very little will go in. Then I'll have to eat 3-4 chapatis. That means it's so many calories I'll get. So stick to my 2 chapatis and I would rather put it in my raita or something like that. Beetroot is very good because it increases the volume of your blood and improves the uptake of oxygen, so you get a lot of energy. Yeah. Okay, so as far as the diet is concerned, you need to pack it up with a lot of vegetables, especially vegetables. Every day, 3 to 4 different vegetables between all your meals, including at breakfast. Breakfast also, you need to start the morning with vegetables, chewing the vegetable, not juice. Chewing. When you chew the food, you signal the brain to secrete saliva. When you secrete saliva, you release gastrin, which helps in the digestion of the body gets ready for digestion and absorption. It's not like a shock to the system that suddenly I have to do this. But I asked you a question. I said, Ki, what will happen if which meal will the digestive system like? Will it like you to have what we just said, nachni ki roti or bajre ki roti with a shimla mirch ki sabzi, little bit of beetroot, little bit of gajar and a raita, or will it want puri and aloo matar? Which one will it like more? I'm not asking what you are going to like. I'm asking what the digestive system will like. Huh?
Write in the chat, please.
Please write in the chat.
Can you repeat again, ma'am?
Yeah, so I'm saying there are 2 types of meals, right? One will be your puri, aloo matar ki sabzi, and in Mumbai we have something called Shrikhand. I don't know if you have that in Delhi. May you have Shrikhand? We have that. So that's one entire meal. It has no fiber. Usme bilkul bhi fiber nahi hai. And the other meal, which is your regular ghar ki sabzi, roti, dal chawal, thoda grated beetroot, grated gajar, ya beetroot and gajar ka raita, ya karele ka raita. Which one will the body like more? Option 2, yes, absolutely. Why? Because it has more fiber, it has more color, it has more nutrients. Naturally, the digestive system is going to just lap it up and take it and make you feel good. And this brings me to one little bit of Something I have understood about health and nutrition, which I want to share with you, all of you, is that, we always say, I like this, I don't like that. But as far as nutrition and health is concerned, it's not thinking about what you like. It is thinking of your body as a customer. So when we are in running a business, you always think of what the customer is king. Right now, I have to think that my body is the king or my body is the queen, whatever, whichever way you look at it. And whatever that king and queen wants, that is something that I want to do for my body. So if I were to ask you today, do you like to brush your teeth? What is the answer? You don't know whether you like it or not. You just do it, na? You just do it because you know you have to do it. Yes. So similarly, the more you stop thinking about I like this and I don't like this, and you start doing what the body likes, you will be surprised that the results you get from doing such a thing is exactly what you will like, because of the kind of health you will get, the kind of energy you will get, the kind of, the power that you will get over all your decisions. That comes by just taking this small step and saying, I'm going to do from now on 80% of the time what my body likes for me. Okay. So that is something that I want to share with all of you. Okay, so let's proceed with the presentation. Now this whole new, this whole era of the past 4 or 5 years has been this entire research of the gut microbiome. So what is really, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the gut microbiome. And what is this gut microbiome? What is it? Do we really need it? What do we do with it? What is it? So the gut microbiome is nothing but trillions, literally trillions of small microorganisms that live in our intestinal tract. They are like an entire family of microorganisms that live in the tract. And if you have we have, all of us have had antibiotics, right? We've all had antibiotics. So antibiotics, they kill all the good germs and the bad bacteria together. When they do that, what happens is you have an imbalance. You have an imbalance in the good and the bad bacteria. And as a result of that, you go on getting infections upon infections, because you don't have friendly bacteria to fight any of the bad bacteria that are coming in. And for a long time, for a long time, the doctors then, first they only gave the antibiotics. Then after some time, what they did, they started giving what is called probiotics with the antibiotic, which is a tablet. But the body does not absorb any supplements. It doesn't absorb the supplements very well. When you can get all the good bacteria from your own diet, which is by having, dahi chawal and achar ka, the achar that we make in our home, if you just have that after having antibiotics, if you just have that meal for lunch for about 4 or 5 days, that should take care of your good bacteria. You don't need anything else, because whatever bacteria comes to you from nature's given food is 100% absorbed in the body. It's 100% absorbed in the body. If you take it from a tablet, 20% or 30% is maximum absorbed, because the body doesn't like things from a tablet. It wants you to chew the food and secrete the saliva and secrete the gastrin, and then it wants to love it. It doesn't love those tablets that you're taking. So, pill popping is something that we have to really control. So the more and more you have, the foods, especially from the Indian thali, in my opinion, is the greatest good bacteria thali on this side of the earth, in the entire world. But we are changing that completely. We are making it something else altogether. Just get back to the basics. Whatever way your food was cooked, eaten, ghee dal ke kha lo, dahi ke saath khao, chas lo, curry lo. We have so many different types of curries, and all of those things are really supporting this beautiful gut microbiome that the world has just found out is so fantastic. But we have always known in India, we have always known how to handle this gut microbiome, but we are not doing it. Our papad, our all our different types of pickles, all these things have are fermented food, fermented with good bacteria that help our system to maintain this wonderful balance of good and bad bacteria. Okay, so that is the most important thing. Takeaway. If you take away just this much today, then I know that my work of helping you with the gut has been done. So let's look a little bit more at this gut. So the gut microbiome has both the beneficial and harmful bacteria. But what is important in the body is the balance. See, in the body, you cannot take sides. Ki, this is really good and this is really bad. You need to have a balance of both. So if you have too many good bacteria, also that's not going to be good for you. You need to have a balance of good and bad in such a way that the good is always better than the bad. That is what is important. So these bacteria, they work like a team with the digestive system that I just explained to you, from the mouth to the stomach to the intestine to the rectum, to all those things, to the ability to fight infections, to churn the food, mix it up, and release the energy in our body. Uh, these bacteria work as a powerful team with our digestive system. And when you have a healthy gut, when you have a healthy gut, you will, of course, feel very calm and rested in the digestive system. But more than that, you are going to be able to control diabetes, weight gain, hypertension, and heart disease in a very, very simple way. In a very simple way, through, again, like I said, the Indian thali that you're eating. You're going to be able to completely control that, and have the best kind of health from your own kitchen. Now, very important, I mean, very few people stress that the way how much exercise and walking also helps the gut bacteria. If you're going to just say, I'm going to eat this healthy dahi chawal and this, and sit and not move enough, you're not going to move enough, you don't take the stairs too often, you're trying to always take the lift, you try not to, you will always get somebody to get your glass of water, whatever, I'm just saying, seen a lot of people doing that, then the gut microbiome does not flourish, because there is no oxygen. When you take a walk, when you work out, when you do yoga, you get enough oxygen that helps with the digestive system to work well, and for the foods to get digested in a very rich environment. When foods are digested in an environment of abundant oxygen and activity, then your health goes to the next level. And I'm not just talking about, so suddenly you one fine day you will take a walk, then you will sit for 2 days and the work will happen, then you will get tension, then you'll get, not like that. That morning routine, wake up, take a look at the sunlight. Once you get sunlight into your eyes, you go and take a nice, you have a fruit, you take a walk, you have your limbu pani with salt. Salt and limbu pani is really good to have in the morning. Thoda sa, Himalayan salt, warm water, limbu, it gets our nervous system activated. Our nervous system gets activated in the right way. And as a result of that, then all the next steps become good. So you should, when you wake up, you have salt water with limbu, and then you drink that calmly, and then you can do some deep breathing. Then you go for a nice morning walk, get sunlight into your eyes, come back, have a fruit, have a nice breakfast after some time, poha, upma with dahi, and you start your day. It's really wonderful, and that is what the digestive system wants. It wants you to get your first meal within 1 hour of waking up. 1 hour of waking up, you need to get your first meal, because at night when you have slept, everything that you have eaten in the previous day has been used to repair and restore what? In your sleep, what is being repaired and restored? One part is the muscle and the organs, but the most important thing that is repaired and restored is the brain. Because the brain shrinks. The brain becomes 1/3 or something its size when you're in deep sleep, worry-free sleep. Because at that time, you are in a state of paralysis, the brain doesn't have to work. So all this nutrition that you've eaten the day before is being used for a very, very powerful function of sleep. Sleep also uses a lot of calories and nutrients. It requires that. It totally requires that you have eaten a great meal 3 hours before your bedtime every single day. And then when you wake up in the morning, the next day, within 1 hour, if you're going to again refresh and eat a nice, healthy, fresh meal with lots of vegetables in your poha, in your upma, the poha and upma should be less, the vegetables should be a lot, because we need fiber to get our digestive system to move. And from there on, that's how your day has to start. Satya sir, how much time have we got?
You can take 10 minutes extra, ma'am.
No, that's okay. I think everybody wants to sleep now, no?
Yes.
We can continue, the next time, but we can take any questions that you have.
If you have any question, yes, any question? Yes, Sumit ma'am, ask a question, please.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Madhuri ma'am. First of all, very thankful for the wonderful session. It was very informative. Many
Most
things
welcome. Thank you.
we think that we know, but with your session, things become really, really clear. As you said, we should have the 5 colors in our plate. Like yesterday night, I thought having a bowl of soup will be very beneficial for me, which was all colors were added. But before having my soup, I checked my weight, and the moment I checked after 10 minutes, I increased 1 kg. So I got
Oh,
little surprised what had happened to me. So is
no,
it
no,
that shows
that is
I have water?
mechanical weight. Mechanical weight is not the same as metabolic weight. So naturally, if I'm going to drink 2 liters of water before and after, it will physics. That's the law of physics. It will show up. It doesn't mean that you have gained weight. It does not
Okay.
mean that.
So
Your
I
weight
just
is an average of a week or 10 days of eating. Even one meal you eat a little extra today, it doesn't mean that immediately you will gain weight tomorrow. It's an average of calorie burn in over about 10 days. Yeah.
so
Okay.
so usually like having a soup at night
Mm-hmm.
will be okay, or it just shows a sign of water retention. We should have it in the afternoon so that it absorbs well.
So, see, I'm a big fan of eating all food groups at all meals. So, at night also, little bit of roti, rice, I think everything, because you have to chew your food very well. You need to get the fiber in. Okay.
Okay.
The
Okay.
soup is a side dish as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
the digestive system does not get activated unless the chewing action is there in the mouth substantially. So something like a soup is pre-digested, you
Okay.
know. I mean, you don't need to chew too much. But again, it's very individual. Some people are used to that. But I'm a fan of high energy eating. I like to
Okay.
eat all, and we have, even a light meal like khichdi, palak khichdi, for example, palak khichdi with curry, um, like a lightly cooked dudi ka sabzi with some carrot. It's beautiful, and a little bit of achar ka, somebody is asking if achar is good. Now depends, if your dadi has made the achar, then it is really good. But if you're going to get it, some quick wala achar from somewhere, then I don't know how good it is. Okay, so the traditionally made pickle that is made once a year in every Indian family, that is the one. Uska और उसको sabzi के जैसे नहीं खाना है pickle को. I've seen a lot of people eat pickle like it's itna sara pickle khate hain. That's not good. You have to take it in a very tiny amount. It's a pinch of nutrition, small amounts. Yeah.
Next question is, first morning, do you have to, if you take hot water and lemon with honey, then exercise would be better?
Honey is, you don't need to take honey. Salt is important if you don't have blood pressure, a little bit of salt or Himalayan salt, because sodium is required by the nervous system to get activated. And the potassium in the limbu, sodium and potassium work together to activate our electrical energy. So that's the reason you have limbu pani with salt in the morning. But if you have blood pressure, then you have to totally avoid the salt and just have the limbu.
Ma'am, nowadays people are little hyped with the quick and easy way. Like nowadays, many people they just talk about this apple cider vinegar, which they take early in the morning. How effective? Because it's really fermented. So, is it a good idea to absorb it?
I'm not a fan of apple cider vinegar because the studies are controversial, and one study is saying it's excellent, and equally number of studies are saying it's not. So there's no conclusion on apple cider vinegar as of now. Till the time that conclusion comes up, I don't want to change the practice that's going on in our country for 5,000 plus years. I think our wisdom in our food is amazing, and I had given up all this. I was eating a bodybuilder's diet, which didn't have any Indian thali ka khana on. Okay, now I've completely changed myself because my gut was suffering a lot with a bodybuilder's diet. Okay. My gut, there was no gut microbiome. I had given up all this. I had too much fiber, which is also not good. Too much fiber, no rice, no this. Now I eat rice morning and night in a small quantity. Okay, that rice is a prebiotic food. Prebiotic means it helps the good bacteria. It feeds the good bacteria in the body. And that also the sticky rice.
Okay. I hope a lot of questions we have answered. Can we have just 5 minutes for one very good fellow? And he's friend of mine, and he's expert in spine therapies and management. So I requested him, can he take 5 minutes to tell us what is the role of spine and how you can improve your spine health. And within 5 minutes, he will teach you some very important tip, being a spine specialist. Okay. And I will say it will even blow your mind also. So can we have, after 5 minutes, can we have question of Madhuri ma'am, so that all can stay just 5 minutes and then we'll move on. Yes,
Okay.
people sir, it's all yours, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Before proceeding further, I have invited one of my friend. She is right now here. She is having a bloating problem, Madhuri. This question is for Madhuri. The issue is, if I press here, she will say, oh. If I press here, oh. This bloating problem I have seen from the last 1 year. So, Pooja, can you come online and share the issue with Madhuri ji? Madhuri ji is celebrity. जो बॉम्बे के सेलिब्रिटीज है उनके खाने पीने को यही कंट्रोल कर रही है काफी लोगों के.
अच्छा, okay.
पूजा, if you are in a position, you can discuss right now.
What is the question? क्या हो रहा है इनको?
Question ये है, उनको पूरे बॉडी में हाइपर एसिडिटी है. If I press anywhere, she will say, oh, gas will come out. If I press anywhere, the whole room will roar with the sound.
Wow. कैसे? How did this happen?
Yes, Pooja, can you share right now? This is a very good opportunity. I have an expert right now here.
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Hi. Actually, I think this is a combination of few things. So one is like a little bit of stress and hormonal also.
Ma'am, do not you share what? Please share the symptoms.
Yeah,
Madhuri will
actually,
tell you.
I'm facing too much of bloating. Actually, I don't know particular. Yeah, too much of bloating, and it's always remain. It's either
From
less
how long?
or.
From how long?
I think it's it's around maybe 1 year or yeah, around 1 year or
Have you
so.
done any strict form of dieting or something? A lot of fasting?
Yeah, I have done it and it's minimized also, but and when I meditate and then I also feel relaxed if I do physical exercise, but it's not vanished completely.
Hmm.
I mean, because when I was doing exercise in 4 or 5 kilometer walk in yoga, so it was balanced. But these days, I was just sitting on laptop and a little bit of stress about marriage and few things. So I think
No, I'm asking,
one.
I mean, have you been going like on periods of, starvation diet and some other diet? And
No,
have you
no, no,
been,
no, 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 no. It's not. I was following intermittent fasting, and
there you go.
normally,
That I
yeah,
think
yeah.
that is the answer. Intermittent fasting and all doesn't work for a lot of people. For most
Mm-hmm.
of us, actually, because 50% of our blood cells, our red blood cells, requires glucose from if you do it from proper food. And now I don't know your age, Pooja, but you have to eat at regular intervals. You have to
Okay.
eat at regular intervals, which is like, starting 1 hour after wake up, you need to start eating. Because if you are stressed, as you're saying, the body
Mm-hmm.
requires a lot of energy. And if the energy is not going to come from your food, where is it going to come from?
Yeah.
Where will the energy come from? If your food is not giving it the energy, your stress requires that energy. It will come from your body. Your muscles will break down.
Madhuri, there is a issue. She has gained weight also. She has crossed
So that is
80.
it. It's a muscle fat.
Okay.
Muscle is breaking
Okay.
down. Muscle breaks down, slows down the metabolic rate.
Hmm.
So whatever good
Mhm.
food you eat also converts to fat in the body. What
Okay.
can
And
we?
also, Madhuriji, is it due to some, because I'm 40 plus right now,
Huh,
and
it could be
I'm
perimenopause.
unmarried. I'm
Huh,
unmarried, and
okay.
doctor says it's due to, because I lost my father and so many things happened in past. So I was
Mhm.
a little bit stressed out of few things which was not getting resolved, and
Right.
but right
So
now I'm fine. So I also consulted that point of time when I lost my father, because I was grieving a lot. So they suggested me, you can take this SSRI, like one of the
there you go.
serotonin deficiency,
हाँ, so
or
then
maybe
SSR uptake वो जो ले रहा है ना serotonin,
mhm.
those serotonin, those things have all these reactions, no?
So I was not, they prescribed me, I took it for 1 week and then I healed myself naturally, because I'm
Very
like into
good.
yoga, meditation and all that. So I'm not on any
Hmm.
kind of medication. But this bloating thing is happening, and doctor, and in fact, I met the Ayurveda naturopath,
Uh,
and so they said that you just need to reduce your stress and do physical exercise.
पूजा, आप जो
So,
है माधुरी मैम से अलग से कनेक्ट होंगे, मैं रास्ता बताऊंगा कैसे. शी इज
हाँ जी.
yeah,
एक्सपर्ट, है ना. और
आपको sunlight की
आपको
जरूरत है.
सरप्राइज
yeah,
दमाद भी एक मिनट.
I was seeing a lot of like nails and hair fall, so maybe some protein deficiency also. I
हाँ.
mean, that can
No,
also the
you
reason.
need to reset your serotonin clock. You need to get
Okay,
sunlight within 1 hour of waking up. And you
okay.
need to see the sunset every day and then eat your last meal. That will reset your circadian rhythm and other things. I mean, that I'm just giving you a first up thing. Of course, it's
Mm-hmm.
individual puja, but I know you must have been through a lot, but I'm sure you are going to get out of. You're already looking positive about everything. Yeah.
so I would request Pooja ma'am and connect with the PP sir and then connect with the Madhuri ma'am. So now at last we have just 5 minutes, sir. Can you mention
Yes.
something? Then we
Can
can.
you allow me to share the screen, Satya? Thank you very
Yes,
much.
you have seen screen, right? Wait a second. You are now host, sir. Yes.
Okay.
5 minutes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, 5 minutes are more than enough. Hello everyone, I am VP Singh. I am having a spine clinic in Delhi and we are treating patient without medicine and even without inviting to our office. Means लोगों का इस गर्दन का दर्द, कमर का दर्द, घुटने का दर्द हम लोग ठीक कर रहे हैं बिना क्लिनिक में बुलाए हुए. So these are the things I have discovered because I am an engineer by profession. I was able to discover this kind of process and how this spine pain come to anyone. You may be rich person, you may be poor person. Law of body does not change. I'll share a slide with everyone. But let us see. Computer G, just open my file. Just a moment. I want to share a story. Do you know who is this gentleman? Can anybody share? सत्य अनम्यूट करने की परमिशन दो सबको भाई.
Ratan Tata.
Ratan Tata, the person who was living like a king. If you see his images, I taken all these images from social media. He was walking like a king, walking like a royal person, walking like a healthy person. But what has happened to him right now? With due respect to him, see the situation right now. Height has reduced. Face is full of pain. Curvature has changed. This is what I have discovered, that law of human body does not change. Many of our spine problems are structure problem. They cannot be cured by medicine, injection, and surgery. And we have a lot of case studies on YouTube channel where you can see how we have helped a lot of people to reverse their cervical pain, spine pain, and knee pain, even vertigo. Vertigo disappears in 1 to 4 days. This is our discovery. Recently, one gentleman came from Assam. Sudha Bhaskar, he is aged. Okay, I'll discuss it. Person 81 years old, having a vertigo issue from 2 years, taking medicines continuously. In 4 days, next week on Saturday, Sunday, I will be organizing a workshop, or I like to invite everyone to attend that. I will send a link to Satyaji. If you have time, this workshop will be at 8 p.m. in the night. If time permits, you are welcome to attend that. If Satya time conflict with your workshop, you can guide me. It is on Saturday, Sunday. Then I can reschedule for your batch.
Yes, I would send his link in my group also.
Okay.
And I have request. Can you suggest one tip how
Yeah.
sit on the chair?
Okay. Okay. Number one. For that, it is important to keep your spine in natural state. Natural state means uncompressed. What does it? What I mean? Suppose if your spine is like this, if you see there is no pressure on this vertebrae, almost no pressure. It is having some play. It is having some play. It is having some play. But the moment you are sitting continuously like this in chair, using mobile, laptop and all, it is a compressed state. In compressed state, your disc will bulge out like this. And if I see, let me see, there is a bigger diagram. If you are keeping your spine in compressed state, it will come out like this. The moment it comes out like this, your pain will radiate in the leg and your body will cry. Sir, my pain is radiating into the leg. So my input is, please keep your spine straight as much as possible. I'll show you how. If I'm sitting like this, it is a compressed state of the spine. But if I'm sitting like this, it is now in natural state. But here also I will feel pain. Use some pillow, some spacer, something like this, so that it remains inside. This curvature should be maintained. This is important. Yes, Mr. Jain, are you getting, sir?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, this is important. Do not sit like this, do not sit like this, do not sit like this. It will eat your spine. The same thing happened to Tata ji. And even in the clinic, you can see people in the morning, they are coming here, they are having a structure problem and they're taking medicine for that. For example, if you are sitting like this, your body is in pain, no medicine will work. Simply you have to correct your posture. Second thing I have discovered, people are not taking enough water. So I have seen in a MRI, lot of dehydrated disc. If disc is dehydrated, it will get crushed if you are sitting like this. So please give enough water to your body, and Madhuri ji can tell better. Normally, we are recommending 3 to 4 liter water every day. So with this, I invite you for my upcoming workshop, for which Satya ji will send link to everyone.
I will definitely. Okay, how many want to join? Just type me in the comment section. I request. It will be 4 or 5 hours workshop, and with 5 minutes, I cannot just let you know the credentials. Those who want, just yes, you should mention the group. Okay, I will send the link. Now, if you have the question at the end, you can have the question regarding the nutrition aspect with the Madhuri ma'am. Session is over right now. Any question if you have related to today's topic, we will love to handle. Please open your video while answering the question. It is a humble request. And it is just series of webinar. It just to start. We'll have more and more webinar like this. Yes, any question from this?
I would like to ask.
Yes, ma'am.
They say for few cases, if you there is estrogen level in females. So what kind of food, if you want to balance your estrogen levels? What you should eat and what you should not?
What kind of food, if you want to balance the estrogen? That means you have very high levels of estrogen and progesterone. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. If somebody is facing like fibroid issue, in that they say that
So one of the top foods is leafy green vegetables. Lot of MUFA healthy fats like almonds. Alsi seeds are very good also because they regulate the estrogen level. Alsi, you know, Alsi flax seed.
Yeah.
Flax seed को आप, you know, you take a hot pan. वो pan को आग से निकाल के then you roast the flax seed.
Yeah.
Then cool it and you grind it and you put it in the fridge, and every day 10 grams you can have in the morning with water.
Next question, please. Okay, I think so.
And madam, I mean, is it recommended to leave dairy products?
That's a controversial question. That's very controversial.
Pooja ma'am, if you ask this question, so I will love to answer in 2 or 3 days session, and in that we will be covering only the milk part. Why you should?
But now, you know, Satya sir, new research has come out that organically sourced milk, the way it was पुराने जमाने में, उससे कुछ problem नहीं होती है. It is the pasteurized milk और वो सारे दूध के साथ there is a problem. There are a lot of studies.
I'm not taking milk, and these days people say that you can take almond milk or something like that. Vegan diet.
You can have milk product, na dahi and all. There is no problem with that.
What about nut milk? Nut milk.
Nut milk, I would love to answer. Nut milk will be very helpful to all of you. And nut milk, if you're making, better to have 1 or 2 nut in combination. The coconut milk, you can use the coconut milk, and for sweetness you can use gazari, honey. So how to prepare coconut milk, I will be teaching in the next phase.
But if you have coconut milk, your carbohydrate content should be in the food should be less. Otherwise, it will be a problem.
Yes. So lot of yes, ma'am.
Almond milk is quite good, but I'd rather you just eat the almonds, you know, or almond butter.
Okay.
I would rather have almond butter than almond milk because that's very diluted.
Okay, and walnuts.
Walnut is 2-3 walnut halves every day is very good. It looks like a grain only.
Yeah,
but walnut you have to keep in the refrigerator, because otherwise if it's bitter, it's not good for health.
Okay.
I hope today you got a lot of answer to your question. Javin sir, you have any question? You have unmuted, sir.
No questions. Very good session, Madhuri taken. Thank you, Madhuri.
Thank you so much. Most welcome.
This is all.
But Satyaji also, you are bringing one person.
So it is all from our sides, and it is just a series of webinar on health and wellness. So I request, and there is no sales involved in this webinar. Our objective is to give as much as you can. What one promise I want your side is next week, next session, if you join, try to share this link for at least 10 people. How many will do it? Just type I in the comment section so that all other can take the benefit. And if you attend this session by the expert, lot of charges are involved. And I hope, and please make sure health is in search wise a very controversial issue because all the research is backed by the industries. Okay. So whatever research is happening, it's being funded by the industry. So you're not able to get the right knowledge from this so-called WHO institutions. Okay. So it is better to look through our scriptures, Vedic diet, whatever is mentioned in the Ayurveda, etc. I think it is the most important asset. So soon we will be covering a detailed series on the milk. Okay, detailed series why milk is dangerous. Okay, detailed series on why we should why we should avoid the grain, because grain is one of the main cause of diseases also. Okay, because we will covering naturopathy aspect also. Naturopathy doctors will be joining, and I am giving you in writing the naturopathy content, the workshop we will be having, that will be very, very informative. So I request all of you stay tuned and be in your group. We will be sending the link in your on your WhatsApp window. If something we're not able to cover, sorry from my side. At any point of time, I have to improve my delivery skills, and I'm still learning. Okay. So any
We're always all learning. Now we all
Okay.
have to keep
Okay.
learning. There is
any
no
point of time, any feedback, we will love to have. And secondly, today we have two sessions. One of on yoga by the Setil sir, another by the Madhuri ma'am. Tomorrow we have two sessions, one of the mind mapping and second on the studio setup. Okay, so that's all for the day, and I wish you should have the best health as well as wealth, and still, still, my humble suggestion to all of you. Okay, we all love our body on paper, on paper. Okay, on paper. So one of the question asked by one of the mentor, "Ki Satya, do you love my body?" I said, yes. Do you exercise daily? I said no. Okay. She asked a lot of question, and I totally just love without commitment. Okay, love without commitment, without dedication, it is a myth. Yes or no? Okay. So if you love somebody, you should have commitment, you should have dedication. And to be frank with you, we do not love our body. So please make sure try to love your body. और मैं तो एक मेरी बात है, आपकी 4 इंच की जीभ आपके 5.5-6 फुट का बड़ा कर रही है. So do not too much worry about this. ठीक है? That's all for the day. Thank you, Madhuri ma'am. Thank you, VP sir, for the wonderful
Thank you so
time.
much, everybody. We had really enjoyed myself.
And we
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. धन्यवाद.
sir, and I want to tell you about the Javin sir. Javin sir is a Bhaktamba expert. Okay, and he has cured the cancer also by the Bhaktamba therapy. So
Wow,
yes,
wonderful.
I would be calling him in 3 to 4 days session, detailed session. Okay, and detailed session they're starting for the Sunday onward. The session on duration will be 90 minutes around for the per session. I will ask all of you attend this session. Why I'm saying, because our ancient tradition, okay, have more scientific aspect because we're not able to explore it well. Okay, you will be surprised. So this ancient practices are more important. Nowadays, allopathy is gaining momentum. Big allopathy have a lot of issues. So this is something all you can do it for a well-being. And he have more than 30-40 years of experience of this field. And that's all for the day. And soon joining with a lot of wonderful sessions. It will be a lot of it.
Be very good.
Namaskaram. Yes.
Corrected.
Yes. Okay, sir. Namaskaram.
Namaskaram ji, namaskaram. Okay, bye-bye.
Request to all of you, after the session, if you think you got value of your time, kindly make a small audio in the group and submit. Okay, within 1 hour, I have a special gift for you. Okay. Those who submit, they will be getting this recording on the personal window. Just make audio what you liked about the session. Because writing will take too much time. The group will be open for half an hour. Just make one audio and submit. Namaskaram, Vanakkam,
नमस्कार।
Shubhratri, आप सभी लोगों को.
नमस्कार सत्य प्रकाश जी और सभी
Okay, okay. Group is
सत्या जी,
open. Yes.
माधुरी मेरा नाम
Thank you, sir.
SPP सिंह
Okay. तो
थैंक यू
ऊपर है, सबसे रिक्वेस्ट है कुछ आप जो भी आपने सीखा आज, ओके, जो भी जाना, ऑडियो बना के भेज दीजिए. आज जब दूसरे लोग सुनेंगे तो उनका मन करेगा आने का. रिकॉर्डिंग आई विल नॉट बी शोरिंग बिकॉज इफ इट इज नॉट लाइव पीपल विल नॉट ज्वाइन. लोग ज्वाइन नहीं करेंगे फिर. सो इसलिए लाइव रखा. एटलीस्ट यू कैन आस्क क्वेश्चन. मैं तो अपने खुद की वीडियो नहीं देखता, देखता आप नमस्कार. चलिए, धन्यवाद आप सभी को. ग्रुप लिंक मैंने दे दिया है, आप ज्वाइन करके छोटा सा फीडबैक ऑडियो के फॉर्म में, क्योंकि बहुत कुछ बोल पाओगे उसमें.